Hello everybody and welcome to my video on IELTS listening. In this video, I'll be providing you with an overview of the IELTS listening section. I'll cover topics such as how to improve your listening skills and strategies for answering the questions quickly and accurately. I'll also share some tips on how to get a band 7 or higher. So whether you are just starting to prepare for the IELTS exam or you're looking for some extra help, I hope this video will be helpful for you. What to expect in the IELTS listening test. In this slide, I'll be providing you an overview of the IELTS listening test format, number of sections and questions. In total, there will be 40 questions and 4 sections. Each section will contain 10 questions. So in total 40 questions in 4 sections, each section will contain 10 questions. As far as types of audio recordings are concerned, they vary from section to section. In section 1, there will be a conversation between two people on everyday topics such as making travel arrangements, booking a hotel, or ordering food. Section 1 could involve filling a form where telephone numbers, addresses, or names will be written. So you need to be well aware of how numbers are pronounced and how letters are pronounced. In particular, practice listening some of the confusing pronunciations such as 40, 14, 30, 13, 50, 15, because they can be confusing. So listen as much as you can so that on the test day you should not feel any problem. Section 2 contains a longer monologue on topics such as giving directions, describing a process, or explaining a policy. So since this section could contain direction, so you need to be aware of words which pertain to directions, which are used for giving directions such as roundabout, straight ahead, nearby, junction. These and other words can really be helpful for you if you are aware about them in advance. So know how directions are given in English. Section 3 contains a conversation between two, or there can be conversation more than two people, among more than two people, can be among 3 or 4 people also, on a range of academic topics such as giving presentation or explaining theory, how exams are attempted. So collect words which pertain to academics topics and which explain academic scenario. And the last section, which is fourth section, it contains a longer lecture or talk by one person on topics such as discussing a research paper or explaining a process. So listen as much as you can to so that you should be comfortable in giving exam, but I'll be providing you tips in a while how well you can attempt IELTS listening test. As far as time duration is concerned, in total there are 40 minutes for IELTS listening test. From these 40, there will be pre-recorded audio which you listen, and while you'll be listening you'll be answering questions, and then you'll be given 10 minutes extra to transfer answers from the sheet that was provided to you to another answer sheet, so you'll be listening to the audio for 30 minutes, and after the listening is over, you'll be given 10 minutes extra to transfer your answers to an answer sheet. So this was an overview of the IELTS listening test format. If there is still any confusion, do write in the comment box. I will try to reach to you and I'll also answer your query. How to prepare for the IELTS listening test? Let me provide you a few tips. Familiarize yourself with the test format. You should know what type of questions are there in the test, what type of conversation is there, how long does it take. So be comfortable with the test format. By knowing it on the test day, it will not be surprising for you. You will already be familiar what type of test is there and what is its structure and format. Practice listening to a variety of English accents. As you know, there are many varieties of English. There are different types of accents. So do not just listen one type of accent. Listen to Canadian English, American English, British English, Australian English, also English that is spoken or accent that is spoken in New Zealand. So at least focus on these 5 varieties by listening to their news channels, their talk shows, podcast, radio. So familiarize yourself with different types of accents. Develop your listening skills through regular practice. Practice, practice, practice. No matter what type of tips I'm giving you, or even if I'm giving you the best of the tips that are there in the world, if you don't put them into practice, they are not going to be very effective for you. So practice as much as you can. Use authentic IELTS practice material. You should practice listening at the material also, but then you should also practice on the real text, and they are available in the market. I'm not going to recommend just one. There are so many available out there in the market or online. So practice through authentic IELTS practice material, and also practice time management to complete all sections. The audio will not be played again, it will be played once also, so do in real time scenario. So also pay attention to time management while attempting these questions. So as I said earlier, you need to be aware of different types of questions. These are some of the types of questions that you will expect in IELTS listening test. Multiple choice questions, note taking or summary completion questions, form, table, flowchart completion, matching tasks, matching speakers to statement, sentence completion questions also. And these different types of questions could involve different strategies to attempt them. I'll make another video on all these different types of questions, but then what I'm trying to say that you should be aware of these questions, and you need to be aware of various strategies of attempting them. As I said in the beginning, I'll be providing you tips for getting a good score in IELTS listening. So here are those tips. Listen carefully to the instructions at the beginning of each section. Now, why you should listen carefully? Because that will help you in preparing what to listen. So you can expect the kind of conversation that is there by listening to the instructions carefully. So don't take them lightly, even if you have heard them so many times. Listen to them carefully every time they are being played. Read the questions carefully before you listen to the recording. So pay attention, know what is to be expected, what type of conversation is there, and what directions you are given, how many words you'll be writing. So do not ignore this information also. Pay attention to keywords and phrases in the questions. So now you need to write what is being asked to you to write. So do not get carried away with the listening. You need to focus on keywords, and the words in the script and words in the audios could be different. So be familiar with synonyms. They'll be using synonyms. Know what is the important word in the question, and then think of its synonym also, because in the audio they'll be using words other than what are written on on your paper. So you need to pay attention to keywords and phrases in the questions, but also pay attention to synonyms. Try to predict the answers before you listen to the recording. Even if your prediction is 100% wrong, that will still help you. That will still familiarize you with the question. So predict the answer if you can. If not, at least predict the type of answers that will be there. Maybe there will be number, adjective, adverb, noun. So you can predict this, and then you can guess what type of word could come. That will develop your rapport, that will develop establish connection between you and the script that is being played. So if you are more into understanding what is being asked, then that will be easier for you to attempt. And take your time when transferring your answers to the answer sheet. Now when you transfer answers, look at the question and the way it appeared in the question. It should make sense grammatically, it should be correct grammatically. If you haven't written the words which doesn't fit in the context properly, that means you haven't got the right answer. So you should pay attention to the format or spellings, pronunciations, capitalizations, because nouns will require you to write first word in capital. Capital proper nouns will require you to write words in capital letters, so you should be aware of it. So be careful when transferring your answers to the answer sheet. So everybody, let's recap what we have learned so far. We learned that there are different types of questions in 4 sections of the IELTS, and each section contains 10 questions, and total time for the test is 40 minutes. From these 40 minutes, 10 minutes are for listening to the audio and writing the answers, and 10 minutes for transferring answers to an answer sheet. And we also learned that there are different types of accents, and then you need to be familiar with them. You need to practice listening to them. So listen as much as you can, practice regularly, use authentic material for improvement. If you can find a teacher who can give you a proper feedback, so get one who can understand your mistakes and then guide you accordingly. So that's it from my side, everybody. If there is any confusion, you can write to me, you can write in the comment box. I'll get back to you. That's it from my side, everybody. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this video was helpful for you. If this was helpful for you, do not forget to like, subscribe and comment. Take good care. See you in another video.